Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have a delicious mayonnaise chocolate cake to share with you with our very own peanut butter frosting. You will not want to miss this decadent and delicious and moist and tender cake, so stay tuned. Okay, so I have a large mixing bowl and I'm using my hand mixer so that you can better see what I'm doing, but you can also do this in a stand mixer. It's really easy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix our wet ingredients in the bowl, and I have 3 whole eggs that go right in. Now I'm going to add in 1 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. Then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm just eyeballing it. Feel free to measure. Then we have 1 cup of mayonnaise. Yes, I know it seems weird, but if you've never had a mayonnaise cake before, you're going to want to try with this one. It just gives it just a nice, rich, creamier texture than you would normally have in a normal cake. And it ensures that it stays moist. Now we have 1 1/3 cup of water. And we're just going to give those a good mix with our hand mixer. You mainly just want to make sure that you have all of that egg well incorporated in there. So if your mayonnaise clumps, it's fine because we're going to be adding some more components to this as we bake. So I have 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour, and we're going to put that in. And I'm just going to kind of work this in by hand just a little bit so that I can make sure that all of my dry ingredients get incorporated in here. Now, like I said, this is really easy to do with a stand mixer, or you can continue to use the hand mixer. This is just so you can see how we kind of get everything mixed well into the cake. Scratch-made cakes can be tricky. If you saw your grandmother or your mother sift all the dry ingredients together, this is why, and this is an alternative to that by using just a whisk to kind of get everything well incorporated in. Now we're going to add in cocoa, 2/3 cup. I'm using dark cocoa. Feel free to use regular cocoa, whatever you like. The result is the same, a chocolate cake. I just like the dark because it's not quite as sweet. And believe me, you saw all that sugar we put in this guy. So it's going to be sweet enough for me. But things like the cocoa, that is how you can take this cake and really make it your own. And see how that clumpiness of the cocoa is just kind of sitting up on there. This is one of the reasons why I do this in steps. And this is also kind of a good thing to do anytime you make any scratch-made desserts. And that way you can ensure that everything gets well incorporated into your batter. So now we're going to add in 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and I got my 4th teaspoon in there already. So now I'm just going to put my 1 teaspoon in there. Then 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I like to really level these guys off before I mix them in. Now you could totally sift those in with your flour and your cocoa, and that would be fine. But taking the time just to add it a little bit at a time like this ensures that you get it really well mixed. Now that I've got it mixed by hand, I'm just going to run my hand mixer through it just to make sure that we get all any clumps out of there. And I'm going to do this on low to medium speed. All right, we got a good smooth cake batter. So let me put my beaters up. And one of the things that I really love about this cake is that we make it in a casserole pan, or you can use just a 9x13 cake pan if you have it. But I'm going to grease my pan really well. The sides. Get it nice and oiled up. Then we're just going to pour our cake right in the baking dish. Making sure we get all that batter out. Now, isn't that beautiful? And if you wanted to, you could shake it, tamp it on your counter a little bit, but either way, it's ready to go. We're going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes, or until a cake tester comes out clean, or our internal thermometer reads about between 195 and 200. As it cools, it will continue to cook and will come to a perfect 205 degrees. So we're going to cook it until we get to that point, but we'll start checking it at about 25 minutes. It should be done around the 30-minute mark, so stay tuned. Okay, so while our cake is baking, we're going to go ahead and mix up this decadent peanut butter frosting. This just makes me so happy. So we're going to take 1/3 cup of creamy or smooth peanut butter and get that in. Get it all out of my measuring cup here. So that's just 1/3 cup of that. And then we're going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now we're going to cream these two things together with a hand mixer. That vanilla will just help break down that peanut butter just a little bit. Now we're going to add in 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, and I'm going to do this about 1 cup at a time so that we get it nice and smooth. And I'm doing this on a relatively low speed. Now we're going to add in water about 1 teaspoon at a time. Now add in the other cup of our confectioner's sugar. And about another teaspoon of water. And our last cup of confectioner's sugar. And then another teaspoon of water. Add just a little bit of water every time, just until it starts to come together and look like icing. And there we go. Perfect icing consistency. We're going to dump this on the cake after it's cooled just a bit, and then just spread it out. So it'll continue to thin then. But it's got a really good frosting consistency to it. So we'll just set this to the side till our cake gets done and cools completely, and then we'll frost it. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back. We finished about a 30-minute cook time on our cake, and I tested it with my internal thermometer, and it came out at about 195, so I took it on out and I let it cool. It's still a little warm, but by and large it's cool. Now we don't turn this cake out, we leave it in this cake pan. So now we're going to ice it. We're going to take that peanut butter icing that we made. Just simple, easy peanut butter, a little vanilla and confectioner's sugar, and it's just fantastic. And then just very carefully, I just take it and just kind of spread it out. I just put it right in the middle and then just spread it out. Now you can do this while the cake is still warm, and it will more or less kind of just turn into kind of like a peanut butter ganache. Or you can wait until it's cooled like I've done and then just push it around. The great thing about a cake pan cake like this is that if it tears like that, you can just kind of smooth it over. I love having failures in the kitchen because it shows you that what I'm making, number one, is in real time, and number two, that you just don't have to stress about it. You can recover from it, and it's not a big deal. Nobody is going to care if you have a little chocolate in your peanut butter frosting. Not a single soul. All right, so now we've got that good and iced. So I'm going to cut just a small little sliver because I don't need it. But I want you to be able to see the beautiful texture of the cake. It's bouncy, it's springy. Let me move my camera. And it's nice and moist and delicious. So let's give it a taste. And I need to get, after I throw it around, let me get a piece with the icing on it, because it's the whole package. I got too much icing. That cake is moist. It's delicious. It's not dry. It's not overdone. It's fabulous. And I love peanut butter and chocolate together because one complements the other. And you get that in this cake. This is a wonderful, wonderful cake to have for any special occasion, to have at the holidays. It's easily done and easily transported when you bake it in a cake pan like this. So we hope that you will head over to thebutteredhome.com and get the full recipe and try it for yourself and love it as much as we do. We also hope that while you're there, you'll sign up for our email list, because we won't ever spam your inbox, but we do want to share our recipes with you. And if you're on board with that, then you need to head over there and sign up for it. Also, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find it, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a great time, and we never know, we're going to pop in live and make a fool out of ourselves, and you don't want to miss that. Now, Big D is ready for some peanut butter and chocolate, so let me go fix him up. From all of us here at The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.